that is attached to the wheels and the front harness. You'll get the stirrups that go on the back if you need them. The leg rings. This is the support system for the rear abdomen. We have 4 clamps, which I'll explain later, but they hold the leg rings on so they don't move, and a manual. When you take your wheelchair out of the box, hold it this way so the red strap's on the bottom, and you're going to fold down the wheels by turning the thumb screw counterclockwise about 3 turns, enough to shift it so it will move, and set it to be perpendicular to the frame. And now we'll do the other side. Loosen the thumb screw 3 turns counterclockwise. Make sure it's straight up and down, perpendicular to the frame, and make sure that the thumb screw is tightened up. So it looks like this. So the front harness, we're going to unclip the blue strap, and then we're going to unclip the black strap because the dog's front legs are going to go in front of the red strap, and then we're going to buckle them in that way. So now that the frame is all set up, we're going to add some other parts to it. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is put the clamps on the wheelchair for the leg rings. Now you'll get 4 different clamps. These are the singles, and these are the doubles. You see how they're wider? The doubles go through 2 bars on the frame, and the singles would go through 1 bar on the frame. Okay, so I like to attach these so that they're fairly close to the knuckle, and by doing that you just shimmy it on so that the channel is on the outside. And then this one, because I'm going to put it right here, is just a single because there's 1 bar. And I'm going to shimmy it on so that it's locked in place inside the line indicators so it doesn't move. And then I'll put the other ones on the exact same way, double in the front and single in the rear. Now I'm going to show you how to install the leg rings. This is the support system for the rear. So you're going to bend them to look like 2 C's, and it's going to go on this way, not 2 V's. So 2 C's like this. It's going to hang down about 3 inches, 2 to 3 inches, to look like a baby swing or a bucket seat. So I'm going to put the wires through the channels to get this evenly centered. I'm going to stop it like about right here, push downward, take the excess wire and wrap it around the bar to hold it in place. And once your dog is in the wheelchair, moving forward, these are going to stay put. So the next thing we should probably figure out before we put the dog in is the height and the length and the width. The width has 2 thumb screws that you can undo and put it on a different square hole to make it narrower or wider. The important thing is to tighten them up at the end so it's nice and stable. The height, before you ordered this wheelchair, you gave us a leg height measurement, which we call the fold-a-flank. So what you're going to want to do is measure your dog's rear leg height, know what that number is. Then you can take a ruler or a tape measure and measure from the top here to the ground to make it equal as your measurement. So if this to the ground is 6 inches and your measurement is 5 inches, we know you're going to have to make this an inch less, probably at the bottom. And what you do to one side, you want to do to the other side to match it. So loosen it up and pull it. And it works the same way with the length bar here. When you measured the length, the armpit to rump, the rump is going to end back here and the armpit's going to be right where this thumb screw is. So by knowing that measurement in the beginning, you can adjust the side the same way. You'd have to loosen the knuckle and then pull it out longer or push it in narrower and then tighten it again. So this knuckle controls the height and the length. Next thing I'm going to show you is how to install the stirrups if you need them. If your dog's legs are paralyzed, I would highly recommend using the stirrups. If your dog's legs are weak, they can use their back legs to develop the muscles in them. So I would like their back leg, their toe pad just touching the ground, a little bit more than tippy-toeing, enough to push off. So if they're using the stirrups that come with it, this is a little bit too long for this height right here, because like I only want it to hang their leg maybe probably 2 inches off the ground. So what you're going to do is hold it up like that and then tie the new knot where you need it. So what I'm doing is tying the knot above this, and then what I'm going to do is put this opening around the knob, and then to hold it on, use the push ball and tighten that up there. Now when you put the stirrup on, this is very important, that you put this loop, the rubber part, on the bottom of the dog's foot and over the hock area. And then you secure it with the push ball so it's not too tight, but it's going to stay in there when the dog's moving. It's not going to fall out. And you'll do the same with the other side. When you want to put the dog in the wheelchair, what you're going to want to do is hold your dog and put the 2 back legs through each hoop first, and make sure their front legs are in front of the red strap. As soon as the legs are about halfway down or most of the way down, then you're going to shift the wheelchair up in the back, clip this, you're going to hook this in front of the chest, the dog's head will be right here, the front legs will be in front of the red strap. So the red strap is stationary. Then at this point you can adjust the straps where you need them to tighten them up. If you need to, you can take these black comfort sleeves off, adjust where you need it, and then tuck the excess strapping back in so it's nice and neat like that. If you notice that the legs aren't quite touching the ground, then you'll need to make it shorter or taller by using the adjustment knob here. So keep in mind that this knob should be right around where the armpit is, and the rump should end probably about here, so there's enough room in the back for clearance to do their business, and it won't soil the dog or the wheelchair. Also, this round knuckle should be right at the center of the dog's hip. So if everything's done just right, this sidebar is going to be virtually in the middle of the dog's body. So the top of the body should be about here. If the body's down below like this, then what you're going to need to do is loosen the leg rings, drop them down further, and then increase the height. That's going to put the bar in the middle of your dog's body. And that's how you assemble the mini